Oh boy, it's time to find out what happens back at the inn when the innkeeper's wife opens the door in chapter 9. And this chapter is called, let me look at the book, it's called chapter 9, The Inn Again. Hans knocked on the inn door, and as usual, the wife opened it. "It's you," she said, and held out her hand. Hans found a few coins in his pocket and put them in her hand. "This is not enough for food in a room," she told Hans. "I know," Hans said, "but all I need is a room. I have something to eat with me," he said, thinking of the roll in his pocket. "Very well, then," she said. "Come in." Hans gripped his walking stick and went inside. After warming himself by the fire, Hans went to his room. He remembered what the west wind had said about sleeping with one eye open and one eye closed. So, after putting his stick on the coat rack beside the door, he snuggled down under the covers and kept one eye open on the stick and one eye closed. And so it happened that the wife thought that there must be something special about the boy's stick. She went to his door late that night. The innkeeper was right behind her this time, just as he had been the other 2 times, but before he could stop her, she had opened the door and was reaching for the stick. The innkeeper reached in after her, and Hans saw it all with his open eye. Up he sat and shouted, "Stick, stick, beat that man!" And the stick came to life before his eyes. "Oh, oh, make it stop!" screamed the wife. "Make it stop!" shouted the innkeeper. "The stick is only doing this because you have not been honest and truthful with me." Suddenly everything was clear to Hans. "Do you have my tablecloth?" "Yeah, ouch, yeah, ouch," confessed the innkeeper, trying to dodge the stick. "Do you have my ram?" "Yes, oh, we do, screeched the wife. "Then bring them here," Hans said. While the stick continued to beat the innkeeper, the wife ran down the hallway to get the tablecloth and the ram. She was back in a flash, and before the stick could beat her again, she tossed the tablecloth onto the bed and pushed the ram into the room. When Hans had his belongings back, he said, "If they be honest now, stick, stop." And the stick flew through the air and floated down next to Hans before it stopped and stood still beside him. Hans took up the tablecloth and patted the ram between its horns. "You have not been honest with me. You stole from me and tried to fool me," Hans said. The couple nodded, breathless from their time with the stick. Hans glared at the couple. "The stick stopped because you are finally being honest with me." The innkeeper and his wife hung their heads but said nothing. So Hans said, "I will come back with my stick once a year on my way home from the Misty Mountains to make sure you 2 stay honest," Hans told them before he left for home. Well, I wonder if all of the goodies are going to work this time when they get home to Hans's house. What do you think? Let's hurry back for chapter